Welcome to On Point by Aditya Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund. Joining us today is the MD and CEO, Mr. A. Balasubramanian. Let me firstly start off by asking, so what are your thoughts on the global factors that have been impacting the current market conditions?
So I think clearly the last 4 5 months have been extremely volatile period arising from Ukraine-Russia war and commodity price rise and subsequent rise in inflation leading to global volatility. And therefore, the equity market got sold off quite significantly. The expectation of growth momentum, which was actually coming back quite nicely post-pandemic, getting settled down. Clearly, today the discussion is more around whether there is going to be a stagflation or whether there is going to be a recession. In this kind of scenario, with inflation coming in and hurting interest rate, then naturally the volatility in the equity market is bound to be there. At the end of the day, any rise in inflation means increase in cost, means reduction in the profitability for companies, it again means volatility in the equity market. I think what you are saying is that I think clearly the market got sold off big time. Therefore, we must see as we move forward some stability in the overall momentum in the market.
Let me just take cue from the answer that you have just given, talking about the market volatility and the sell-off that we have seen in the current calendar year. Of course, India has also not been spared the brunt of the equity markets, but India has been a relative outperformer if you have a look at in the global context of things. So what's the outlook going forward or for the remainder of the financial year only for the India-specific market?
See, India I think should continue to do relatively better than global market for 2-3 reasons. One, in the whole sell-off that came from overseas, it is largely related to Russia, related to China, related to the emerging market allocation which is getting reduced. Therefore, India also has seen the sell-off coming from global allocators, global money managers in reducing the allocation in emerging market. India too, having been the large recipients of foreign flows, have seen the brunt of it. But India also, one must understand, is becoming more resilient because the domestic economy continues to do well and monsoon impact will come on the rural economy and the GST collections have been rising. There has been a certain pockets of the country pick up in volumes in the business, especially in auto. We are seeing a revival. The demand for real estate has also been rising and demand for household items, especially the consumption demand coming back. And credit growth is also gradually returning, especially from the consumer loan point of view. And the monsoon will have a huge positive impact in India. One, bringing down the food inflation and increasing the rural income in the hands of public, therefore leading to a increased spending in the coming period. And the government of India is taking many initiatives towards the reforms and also towards spending from the public sector companies in order to ensure the capex requirement for the country remains and driven by government of India own companies. Therefore, my own belief is will remain insulated. But at the same time, having seen interest rate rise is universal across the world, we will still have some volatility hitting the Indian market, though we may relatively do better than overseas market.
Right. One final question for the new age investor. Post-COVID, what we have seen is an emergence of domestic retail investors that have come in via the SIP route. Now, post-COVID, this is the first time that they have been witnessing a material correction in the market. So what would be your message to that first-time investor or someone who is, looking to enter the markets at the current stage? What should be the best strategy going forward?
See, retail investors are getting more and more matured in their thinking. Most of the retail investors today have started thinking on the goal-based investing from the point of view of building their portfolio for future, and therefore the advice and the consideration they should have is to actually keep buying equity mutual fund schemes in order to meet their long-term wealth creation needs that can help them meet various goals that they may have in their life. The same way, those who have been extremely exposed to the equity and given the fact interest rates have been rising and the Indian bond yields have already gone up by more than about 1.5%, there is an asset allocation also should go some bit of fixed income assets in order to get your portfolio balance right, in order to meet your longer term goal.
Right. Those are all the questions that we had. Thank you very much, listeners, and happy investing.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार के जोखिमों के अधीन है। स्कीम संबंधी सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।